What's up, Dice Bag? This is Jay. They played technically a 4-0 B Trooper deck today at our 3v3 event, and we're gonna get right into it. We're not gonna delay.
Gotcha.
So go ahead and
technically 4-0 is I carried my team. C stands for captain.
B Trooper best deck.
B Trooper best deck. I carried my team. Technically I went 4-0. Technically our record is 3-1. I've been playing this deck since it came out. In Dawn of Majesty. I've been testing the list here and there ever since. And I think I've gotten it to the point I like it the best. I've definitely had a few different theories about how I liked the deck to function, but right now I think I've got where I am. So I'm going to start with like the three best normals in the deck. Or well, not the three good normals. Goki Pull is tied with one other. So Resonance Insect, Retaliating Sea, and Goki Pull all do something when they are sent from field to. All do something when they are sent to graveyard. These guys are only from field to graveyard, but Goki Pull, as long as it's sent to graveyard, does something. Each of them goes and gets another insect. Goki Pull gets level 4 insects. Resonance Insect gets 5 or higher, and Retaliating Sea gets you Earth insects with 1500 or less attack, which can be either Resonance or Goki. Goki Pull is maybe the single best card in the deck. When it's sent to graveyard for any reason, you can add a level 4 insect in deck to hand. If that insect is a normal monster, you special summon it and pop a monster on the board. You can pop a monster on the board with attack equal to or greater than that monster's attack. It's non-targeting, it's all in resolution, so even if you have the normal monster in hand, which happens, you can even just say, you can emphasize the, hey, I can pop a card, and they'll ash it, and it's great. And when you don't ash it, it just goes for days. Goki Pull, along with one other starter in the deck, plus an extender, does the full combo. Plus it works with some of the other extra deck monsters. Goki Pull is like a card I'm always looking to see, along with the other guy who does full combo with an extender. But generally, the idea is you normal summon one of these, use an extender, use their graveyard effect to get you into the rest of the combo. Also, they all work really well with Pico Plana. Never bring back Maxi. This search is Maxi. Next are the Battle Wasps. These guys are my primary extenders. There's primary extenders. There's a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So your 1 and your 3 are your primary extenders. This one special summons itself and controls an insect. It also burns your opponent for 200 for each one you control, so it wins in time. I hate that. Twinbow the attacker. I used to only run this card at 2 because when it's special summoned, when you can special summon it from your hand for any reason, but it locks you into insects the rest of the turn. That used to be a downside. It's no longer a downside. And also, it's extender plus Goki Pull. And in this case, this is the other guy who is an extender, who with an extender is full combo. Because both of them get this guy. So you use their effect to go get this guy. That turns you into the Link 2, and you use the Link 2 to summon this, which gets you the Goki Pull or this guy back. This guy says on normal or special summon, Sting the Poison. Sting the Poison adds a B Troop Battle Wasp from deck to hand. And you can, as a quick effect, so this guy is a starter and end board. As a quick effect, you contribute another insect, target a monster on the board, and negate its effects. It's incredible. We'll get into why this guy is his lock is a bonus later, though. So that's all the Battle Wasps. These guys are the MVPs. Honestly, they do more work than the B Troopers sometimes.
yeah, when you pulled those out on me, I was like, oh crap, what am I doing against these? Because I don't even know. And I think that's a benefit to them.
They extend for days.
Yeah.
The number of times people will Ghost Ogre this thing, because I'll still get the guy back, and when he's destroyed by card effect, he floats into another Battle Wasp. People Ghost Ogre this thing, and it honestly loses them the game. Then we call this deck B Troopers, the B Troopers themselves. 2 Scout Buggy, more extenders, in Scale Bomber, 1 armor, 1 Assault Roller. The second best card in the deck, and Neptune. Neptune doesn't come up too often, but he's good. So before, when I first started playing this, I was like, Scout Buggy is the boy. He does everything. He gets you the other Scout Buggy. The idea was the 1 insect that's worth 2. And you didn't need extenders when you paired it with this. But what I've learned is if this guy gets stopped, then it sucks. So I've just maxed out on extenders. 3 Pin, 3 Twin Bow, 3 Scale Bomber, get the shit done. You only need 2 scout buggies because Scout Buggy gets them from any other location except banished. So once you have one in rotation, you just keep getting it back from the graveyard. Scale Bomber is when you can use this for a lot of things, including chain blocking. When an insect is normal or special summoned, you can special summon this guy from your hand, which means you can actually chain block important effects like Sting the Poison or Scout Buggy, or one of the Link monsters, which must resolve. Assault Roller, you can banish an insect from your graveyard, special summon it. This is really good for proccing Resonance Insect, because I didn't mention the important part about Resonance Insect. Resonance Insect, when sent from field to graveyard, searches for a level 5 or higher insect. When it is banished, it Foolish Barrels an insect. Neither one of these effects are once per turn. That's insane. I've literally procced all 3 effects of Resonance Insects 3 times in a turn. 3 Foolishes, 3 searches. It's really good. But like I said, so this guy over here is the star of the show. Other than Gokipole, he's the best card in the deck. When he's summoned, he searches for a B-Trooper spell or trap, and while he is in the hand, as a quick effect during the main phase, you can target a monster in your opponent's graveyard and an insect in yours, put them on the bottom of the deck, and then special summon him. So he's a DD Crow that adds a card from your deck to your hand and commits a body to the board. Notably, the 2 monsters that he targets do not need to remain in the graveyard. As long as you have targeted cards, you're good. Not like the Bestials. Neptune is a weird one. I sided Neptune out a lot. He's very situational, but when he comes up, you want him a lot. He's like an alternative boss monster. You can, and also, this deck grinds like no other. There's a Link monster that returns your stuff to the deck. This guy returns your stuff to the deck. This guy takes your banished insects, puts them back in the deck to commit him to the board. He's a big guy who is hard to take off the board because when he's destroyed or banished, he comes back once.
Yeah. We never got into the grind game, really. When I was facing off against you, so I unfortunately didn't get to see that close hand.
But yeah, you can constantly be putting your stuff back. Sorry, something crashing there. But that's all the that's the B Troopers, that's the Battle Wasps. We're gonna get into some more generic cards, starting with this guy you've probably all seen, Kashtira Fenrir. So if I'm being honest, I think this card's really overrated. I don't think it goes in as many decks as people think it does. However, in this deck, it's insane. So I'm gonna just take a card out of my extra deck quickly. This card is kind of the lifeblood of the deck. Pico Felina. So when she's summoned, you can discard a card from your hand and target another insect. Equip that insect with any other insect from your deck. This notably works really well with Rezo, Gokipole, and Retaliating Seed because all the effects trigger.
If you read this text very closely, it says shuffle 3 insects from your graveyard deck to draw Killer Needle.
Correct. That literally happened during round 3, which by the way is on Winterkill's YouTube channel. I used Killer Needle to summon this thing, used her effect to draw a card, and drew the Killer Needle again.
Shout out Winterkills.
Shout out Winterkills. He's the boy. But anyways, she discards a card to do all of this. When you use Fenrir, part of what's cool about Fenrir is that you can search another Fenrir off of itself, and for a lot of the time, this is kind of virtual card advantage. Sure, it adds another one to hand, but since you can't only really commit the Fenrir to the field you can't really put the other Fenrir on the board unless your board is cleared, it oftentimes doesn't mean anything. Sure, it's in hand, but it's not doing anything for you. With Pico Felina, you can add that card, pitch the new Fenrir, and you effectively turn Kashtira Fenrir's search of another Fenrir into an upstart goblin, which is unreal for this deck. Plus, it has its more interruptions going first, its game going second. Yeah, it really helps.
And we won't even talk about how you managed to in all 3 games against me.
All 3 games.
Turn 1.
Every time. I drew this card a lot tonight. It's unreal how good this card is.
Yeah.
Also, not doing it right now. Sting Lancer's a 7. This is a 7. This does open me up to rank 7 plays if I ever want to do that.
Oh God. It could work.
It could work. Other than that, we got 2 other insects. Doomdozer, Resonance Insect can search just because it's level 5. It can trigger the effect. It's an extra guy to throw on the board. Access code plus Doomdozer is exactly 81.
Damn.
Yeah, it's great. Killer Needle is the normal monster you get off of Gokipole. Enough said. I draw this card way too much. Those are all the monsters. This deck. No. Sorry. Edit that out, please.
We got my teammates calling out.
Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, you weren't wrong.
Let's get to the last few cards. So the spell cards are 2 B Trooper Descent, 1 B Trooper Formation, and 2 Ready Fusion. Uses to summon Quaggar Hercules. It's another insect. This lets you is a once per turn. It's a field spell. Target a also our namesake. We're the B Trooper Formation. This is B Trooper Formation.
It's true.
You activate it. Target an insect in your graveyard. A B Trooper in your graveyard. Summon it to the board, and you burn for its attack. But it lets you proc all of your on summons. It lets you summon proc your Sting Lancers again. It lets you proc your Scout Buggy again. This is an extender. It's B Trooper Descent. It summons a B Trooper token, but if you control an insect with 3,000 or more attack, you can also non-targeting pop a back row, which is incredible because you've already got an established forward state. You can like if you've already got like if you start your turn and you have like Invincible Atlas Sting Lancer, you can have Invincible Atlas tribute out the Sting Lancer for a new Sting Lancer. Search this and pop a back row before you even really get started. Ready Fusion just extender summons Quaggar Hercules. This deck is just all about extending. You can ash me at any time and I will keep playing and I will make your ash look like a bad idea because of Sting Lancer.
Yep.
That happened in our game.
Yeah.
You put a monster in your graveyard, which turned on the Sting Lancer in my hand. And the last one is archetypal. If you control a member of the archetype, do a negate. Though notably, if you haven't used the negate and it's in your graveyard, at the end of the turn you can banish. If you have an insect with 3,000 or more attack on your board, you can banish an insect from your graveyard and set this to the board. Notably, it doesn't banish itself after that, so you can just keep doing this. It keeps it going. And it also triggers Resonance Insect.
Again, extenders.
Extenders all day. Also, this is very funny because the tier cards mill you, so if they mill your Goki pool, you're so happy. Especially because, I didn't even talk about what Retaliating Seed does other than that. This guy is a hand trap. When your opponent activates a spell card that special summons a monster, you can summon this from your hand, and it macrocosmoses everybody until it's gone. Yep. And notably, when you use it as link material, the macro turns off before it hits the grave. So it'll hit the grave despite that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Preach hit me with that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was sad.
It's really good, especially considering they didn't ban Instant Fusion. So if Tier goes Instant Fusion, you summon this, and what do they do?
Yeah.
Nothing. Also, this deck has an archetypal DD Crow because of Sting Lancer, but that archetypal DD Crow puts him on the bottom of the deck, so it triggers Kaleido Heart and Perlorino. I'm crying. You'd think they have game, but we do not. Anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into the extra deck.
Sure.
B Trooper Armor Horn. This card is unreal. So while it's on the board, you are locked into insects, but you can get it off the board pretty easily. As an activated effect, as soon as you activate its effect and as soon as it resolves, you immediately normal summon another insect. Double summon in the extra deck is not bad, and the card gets better from here. While it's in the graveyard, you can banish 3 insects from your graveyard, special summon it from the graveyard, and it's banished when it leaves the field. So this on its own lets you summon Neptune because it banishes 3, but it also triggers your Resonance Insects. So a lot of the time playing this deck is about knowing when to stop, because you could go farther by using this in your graveyard, but if you just save this for your next turn, it's like stocking the barrel because you can just banish the Rezo, dump a Goki, and go off. Picoflana, where is she? We'll get to that in a minute. Picoflana, like I said, is the other great card of the deck. You go through both of these as your main combo. Go into this one first, summon it under, target the thing. Yep. Gets everybody going. If you draw a Resonance Insect, you use the Resonance Insect to get into this, and then you have her put another Resonance Insect on it, and you're getting to use both. Also, works really well with Defender. Other link too is Nightmare Phoenix, because it's Nightmare Phoenix. Out its back row, really cool.
Yep. You actually stopped me from being able to protect from destruction because you popped that and just got rid of it.
I won't lie though, I probably could have played that hand better, but like, it was interesting. That dragon.
Everyone lose their phone. Make sure everyone in the room has their phone.
What's your wallpaper?
Anyways, that dragon really just destroys this deck because like the same thing with Masquerade, the branded dragon. You can't play through that much burn damage, especially considering the field spell burns you as well. It's so hard.
Yeah, Assault Dragon was like the only reason that I won.
It's an FTK. Masquerade was the same thing, and honestly, I'm really afraid of Kashtira coming up because they're gonna make the stupid Red Eyes that does the same thing, and I know because I'm going to be playing that deck.
Fair.
Seraphim Papillon. This card is the most underrated card from Echo. It like does so much work. So it doesn't take it is an insect notably, but it doesn't require insects as materials. So for instance, this is locks you into insects on the board, but you can just climb into this and it turns off the insect lock, allowing you to go into access code.
Damn.
So Papillon, as a mandatory effect when it's summoned, it gains counters equal to the number of insects used as material for it. That is unfortunately a mandatory effect, so it cannot chain block Resonance Insect. And also, its other effects is it gains 200 attack per counter, and you can remove a counter at quick play speed to summon a level 4 or lower insect from your graveyard. Unfortunately, that means you can only use one of the effects per turn. So on summit, when it gains the counters, that means you can't use those counters this turn. It's very unfortunate. But still, when you can't go for the full end board, it lets you summon this thing with a Sting the Poison in graveyard. During their turn, you either play around the Imperm or the triple tack, depending on when you want to activate it. You summon the Sting the Poison from the graveyard, and then you get your search because, once again, Sting is both interruption and starter. And also, it's a wind, which is really helpful when you're climbing into access code because it's an attribute you don't really have anywhere else in your access deck. Then we go into Link 4s. Giant Bee Trooper, Invincible Atlas. This is the heart. I keep saying this is the heart and soul of the deck. Many cards are the heart and soul of this deck, I guess. We have a big heart.
Big heart, big soul.
Invincible Atlas is an asshole. He can't be destroyed or targeted by card effects while his attack is 3,000 or less, meaning he's just a card that's hard to get around. This deck doesn't make the most oppressive boards, but what it does is it makes a board that is annoying enough to get you to your next turn, at which point you kill them. This also has the restriction of while it's on the board, you're locked into insects. Also, he toolboxes your entire deck. He can tribute any insect on the board, including himself if you need to. That happens a lot. This is where you Ash Blossom the deck, by the way, because sometimes it turns into Gamma. You can tribute an insect on the board to give it, to special summon another Bee Trooper from your deck. And also you can tribute an insect to give it 5,000 attack until the end. Not give it 5,000, give it 2,000, making it 5,000. This came up massively in our game. We were coming down to the clock. I was burning. I eventually turned off your Dragon's Effect. But I was just like, okay, you've got the 14 guy on the board, you've got the 24 guy on the board, I can make access code on 53, and I can summon this guy and make him 5,000, and I just need to punch your two smallest guys to push you under my life points. It was really tense, I won't lie. It's one of those things where, like, I hate that it had to end that way, but it's also very photo finish.
True.
Do I need to explain access code, Talker?
No, you're good.
However, one Link 4 that's massive is my main man, World Sea Dragon Zealantis. This guy came up massively. So during the main phase, he's one effect monster. This came up earlier today where someone dropletted my access code and I just turned it into this. You can just do that because it only requires one effect monster. So
it's kind of crazy. Actually.
Yeah, it's insane. Why? But anyways, during the main phase, you can banish all other monsters on the field and then special summon them back to the field in either face-up attack, face-up defense, or face-down defense. Notably, you are the one doing the special summon. Let's go back to my man. Let's go back to my main man, Twinbow the Attacker. He locks you into insects for the rest of the turn. So you summon Zealantis, you activate Twinbow, you use his effect, you banish all things on the board, all your insects come back, but you can't summon their monsters because they're not insects. You wipe their board for nothing. Also, randomly, and this came up where I didn't expect it to, at any point during the battle phase as a quick effect, you can pop... It's not even targeting, wow. You can pop monsters on the field up to the number of co-linked monsters. So if you have this co-linked to like a Papillon or an Invincible Atlas or even an access code, you just get to pop 2 cards for free, which honestly came up in my round 3 feature match, which you can watch on Winter Kills.
So moral of the story, play this.
This card's nuts. Any deck where you can archetype lock yourself, you can pull off this trick.
Yo, heroes, what up?
Actually, like, I play Mech Knights, and I can do this in Mech Knights as well. But anyways, last, like, 4 cards, a Zeus package, and Cicada King. This is the worst card I've ever called good, but it's a rank 3 insect. When this card, so when an opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can detach and target that monster, so you can chain block it, and it targets, so if they remove it from the board, the negate doesn't go through, but whatever, you negate its effects, and then you can either give it 500 defense, or change its battle position. When this guy's battle position is changed, you can summon an insect from your hand or graveyard in defense mode, meaning you negate and then you summon back starter and end board Sting the Poison to both search and negate other things.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And also, obviously, Zeus.
Yeah.
By the way, Goki Pool's a rank 3. If you have a Goki Pool under this, it's the most annoying thing ever because you can both detach to negate and trigger the Goki Pool. It's amazing. And then I got Hercules for the Ready Fusion.
Yeah.
My side deck, honestly, was kind of lackluster. I won't lie. I could have done better with my side deck. But, Rivalry of Warlords, because bugs.
Yep, but never came up.
Never came up because I faced Cyber Dragon, which machines. I faced Blackwings, which winged beast, to be fair, some dragons. Maybe at...
And Warrior. Obsidian Hawk Joe is Warrior.
Maybe I should have played this against you.
Yeah, you should have. I wasn't going to say anything.
Anyways, you know what? Whatever. And evenly matched because...
Evenly.
Evenly?
Yeah.
It's a good card. Fuck tiers. Should I swear? Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. You can say the
Dark
fuck
Ruler
word.
because end boards.
Because Dark Ruler.
Cosmic because back row. DD Crow because tier.
Yeah.
You know. And that's the deck. This deck is so good at just not caring about your opponent.
Fair.
Because it's just like, oh, cool hand trap. I'm going to keep going. Second hand trap, cool. I've OTK'd people through Nibiru.
Yeah.
It's,
I heard.
This deck just keeps going. My friend Adam, who is also on my team, says when you look at this deck, it doesn't look like it does anything. But it does everything.
Yeah.
I maintain every time I resolve Goki Pool, I feel like the game's over. This card's unfucking real.
Yeah, it was a good match too, which you're gonna be able to check out as well. Our match, that's gonna be up on the channel probably after this. But hey, congrats on your technical 4-0, 3-in-1 team win.
So on the Winter Kills match, I was the feature match. So all you Winter Kills viewers, it looks like the B Trooper players won that round. We didn't. I won that match though.
Well. See, that's all that matters is the moral victory.
The moral victories.
But thank you all so much for watching. Jay, thank you again. I appreciate it. And congrats on your win again.
Yeah. Have a great night, folks.